Pacific, good evening to everybody. Or if you're watching us here in California, it is Saturday night, Saturday evening, and most people it's party night. And if you're watching us in the Philippines, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. It's 1 p.m. in the Philippines, and hopefully, like as always, hopefully you're spending wonderful time with your family, loved ones, friends, and significant others, and people who are watching us in different parts of the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And of course, to our team replay, maraming salamat, happy viewing, and good day. Kung saan man kayong panig ng mundo who are watching us. Ito, naku, sila Emma Consul is watching right away. Naku, Aseret, you're there too. Emma, magandang ating topic today. But before we start, ang ating episode for tonight, naku, kailangan ko mga tulong nyo kasi uh, basta. Anyway, before anything else, we are live on PHLB Radio Facebook page as well as we're simultaneously live on PHLB Radio YouTube channel. So if you are not a subscriber yet, what are you waiting for? It's so easy. Just like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to be notified every time we're on, just click on that notification bell so you will be informed every time we're on. As well as we are in different podcasts, namely Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. And if you are using Amazon Fire TV, just look for PHLB Radio channel. And if you're using Alexa, just say, Alexa, play PHLB Radio. And as always, if you missed any portion or you want to replay any of the shows, not only my two shows, but also the shows of anyone else on PHLB Radio, you could do two things. You could check us out on the playlist on PHLB Radio Facebook YouTube channel, or you could check us out by checking in on www.phlbradio.com, which is really the PHLB Radio website. Ayan. So para clear, naku, this is, eto na. Oh, sabi ni Emma Consul, hello Josh. Emma, I saw your picture. I think you had a little something going on earlier in Carson. Emma is one of the fine lady of Carson, California. And then si Larry Lontok is watching also. Larry, my gosh, gising ka pa. Larry is watching. Larry is my inaanak sa kasal and happily married to a good wife, a good lady, and that's Hazel. And they're watching from Houston, Texas. Nako Larry, kailangan mag-participate ka. Baka makatulong ka dito sa ating letter sender. Anyway, so let's start na para magandang pag-usapan natin itong letter. Our letter sender today is itatago natin. We'll keep it private or at least incognito. We'll call her Carmen. Tapos ang kanyang significant other, we will name him Antonio. At sana hindi ako madulas. Minsan kasi, I think if you have seen some of our shows, minsan nadudulas ako sa real name. So here we go. So ang title or the episode for tonight is uh, ano na nga ba? Ang bawat sandali. Nakawin natin ang bawat sandali. Nakawin natin ang bawat sandali. Firstly, a lot of people was asking me, nasty ba tong show na to today? Yung episode. Sabi ko, no, you need to listen. You need to watch the show. So, nakawin natin ang bawat sandali is the episode title for tonight. And here it goes. Dear Kuya Jush, itago niyo lang po ako sa pangalang Carmen. I'm 42 years old. Isa po akong nurse. Kagaya po ng marami, gustong-gusto kong nanonood ng show ninyo. Hindi lang po itong show ang pinapanood ko sa inyo, pinapanood ko rin po ang Alam Mo Ba? Carmen, maraming salamat. Nakakataba ng puso. Your shows really hit hard on us, or at least in my case, because ang dami ko pong natututunan. Minsan nakakatawa, especially itong Dear Kuya Josh. Minsan nakakainis yung mga letter senders na napakadami nilang problema. At maganda rin, one of these days siguro I want to be a guest co-host. At sabi niyo po, welcome naman kami lahat. True yan, Carmen, and to everybody listening. Yes, you are all welcome to to be a guest co-host like si Lazaret, yan, si Emma, si even Larry, si Cha Marcos is watching, si Alexander already was here as a guest co-host once, I think last year. So anybody open para makita rin na para we're becoming a big family now, which is so cool. Anyways, sabi niya, thank you po sa inyong show na PHLV Radio at sa PHLV Radio dahil po marami talaga kami napupulot na aral at sabi mo nga, tidbits of wisdom. Wow. Okay, kababata ko po si Antonio. Galing po kami sa probinsya sa Norte. Okay. Naging on po kami during high school. Dahil po magkalapit lang ang bahay namin sa isa't isa. Kuya Josh, I came from a very big family. Hindi kami mayaman at hindi naman kami sobrang hirap. Sabi nga nila, sakto lang. Bata pa lang ako, alam ko na what I need to do is to help my parents. Meaning, kailangan kami lahat ay magbanat ng buto para kami ay umunlad. My parents instilled on us that education is the way to escape poverty. Meaning, laging sinasabi nga sa isang show mo na hindi kasalanan kung pinanganak kang mahirap. It would be your fault, kasalanan mo kapag namatay kang mahirap. Nakakatawa man nang narinig ko ito, pero totoo yan, Kuya Josh. Like what I said, we are not from a rich family. We're not even middle class, but we're not poorest of the poor. Sabi nga, like what I said earlier, sakto lang. Kuya Josh, I am really a good student, as well as talagang aral to death. Sabi nga, para maganda ang kinabukasan. Sabi nga nila, education is the key. At yun ang pinamulat sa akin ng aming mga magulang. Naging boyfriend ko si Antonio way back in high school. Isa siyang maginoo, wala siyang hiningi sa akin, walang mga chancing nagganap, at kami talaga ay naging super BFF or best friend forever. Although, alam namin sa isa na kami na. From high school, nagpunta kami sa Manila para mag-aral. Just like anyone else, pareho kami ng course na kinuha. I was taking nursing, siya naman ay medtech. Okay? Unang-una gusto niya mag-nurse para lang sundan ako. But I said, hey, you could do your own thing while I'm pursuing my nursing degree. At siya naman gusto niya sanang mag-doctor. Dahil sa pamilya, nagparaya ako, Kuya Josh. Nag-migrate kami sa Canada kahit masama ang loob ko. Na-petition kami ng lola ko na nasa Canada noon. Buong pamilya noong ay nakapag-migrate. Naiwan ko si Antonio mag-isa sa Pilipinas. Dahil talagang pinursok ko ang nursing degree ko sa Canada na nalimutan ko na si Antonio. Dahil noon, Kuya Josh, hindi pa ganun ka ganda ang internet. Nabalitaan ko na lang sa mga kaibigan at kamag-anak na hindi na nakapag-intay si Antonio at siya ay nag-asawa. Ako naman, hanggang ngayon ay naging matandang dalaga dahil nag-iintay ako sa pangako ni Antonio na babalik kami at kami pa rin sa isa't isa sakaling magbalik ako. Kuya Josh, pagkalipas ng maraming panahon, nagkita muli kami ni Antonio. Biyudo na siya. Dito na kami sa Canada nagkita. Kuya Josh, nagkabalikan kami. Dahil nga biyudo na siya at ako naman ay matandang dalaga. Super saya kami, Kuya Josh. Marami kaming balak na hindi natupad noong mga bata pa kami. Mahal na mahal ko si Antonio at alam kong mahal na mahal niya rin ako. Meron rin siyang naging 2 anak at okay din ako sa kanila. Tanggap nila ako dahil naikwento naman pala ni Antonio sa kanila ang naging relasyon namin noong mga bata pa kami at kung ano ang sinapit ng aming pag-iibigan. Hindi naging hadlang ang mga anak ni Antonio, Kuya Josh. Ngunit, ang samang palad, Kuya Josh, nalaman ko pagkalipas ng ilang taon naming pagsasamang napakasarap, napakatamis. Alam mo yung bagay na pinagdasal mo, pinagnovena mo, at yun ay nagbalik. Sa kasamang palad, Kuya Josh, si Antonio ay na-diagnose na lung cancer stage 3. Sobrang sobrang sakit, Kuya Josh. Sobrang parang gusto ko nang sumabog. Hindi ko pinapahalata kay Antonio dahil ayoko siyang paghinaan ng loob. Bawat sandali, Kuya Diyos, ninanakaw namin. Dahil ang alam ko, nalalabi na lang ang mga oras ni Antonio. Dahil sinabi ng doktor, yung kanyang kaso or yung case niya is something that I need to be prepared. Bawat sandali, nakaw. Kung merong pagkakataon, Kuya Josh, we go on vacation, we go on trips. Minsan iniisip ko, bakit nagkaganon ang aking life story? Bakit naging ganon ang love story namin ni Antonio? Napakalupit ba talaga ng pagkakataon? Talaga bang sinusubok kami ng pagkakataon na hanggang ngayon hindi ko maisip kung bakit tinalaga pa rin magkita kami after all these years. At naging masaya naman sana until this dreaded cancer came into the picture. I wrote to you to share my story. I wrote to you to make sure that every single day we are we are reminded that life is short. We are reminded that do the best you can because you only have one life to live. Sabi nga, wag nang patumpik-tumpik, wag nang magpatumpik-tumpik sa buhay. Do what you need to do. Do what would make you happy. Wag nang magintay. Dahil sa mga pangyayari in the past few years with the pandemic and all that, nothing is guaranteed. Ang alam ko, kung nasaan kami ni Antonio ngayon, we will exhaust our time together until the time comes. Sana kapulutan ng aral ng mga viewers at saka ng mga listeners ng show mo itong munting kwento ng buhay ko. Like what I said, life is too short. Make the most of it. Like what I realized, everything has a purpose. At siguro ang purpose talaga namin is to be together even for this moment in time. Muli, nagmamahal at taga-kapakinig ng Team Replay member Carmen. O yan, naku, teka muna, si Jem Yu is watching. Si Jem Yu po ang Gem Kitchenette. Siya yung may-ari and hopefully I could guest her here because she managed this small business, it's a home-based business of Filipino delicacies, yung mga kutsinta, mga puto pao. Ako, napakasarap. Okay. So, ano lang natin ng konti, digest lang ng konti. So, ang characters natin, ang letter sender is si Carmen. 42 years old siya at nurse. Si Antonio naman ay naging kasintahan niya, naging boyfriend niya while they were back in high school. Kababata sila sa isang probinsya in the norte. Nagkahiwalay sila dahil nga the family of Carmen went to Canada. Because of at that time, she said that the technology was not as good as it now. The way we could call through WhatsApp, Facebook, Viber, Telegram. All those were not readily available at that time. So they lost touch, and through the relatives and friends, Carmen found out that Antonio got married. To this day, according to her, all this time, she did not marry because she was holding on to the love of her life, happens to be Antonio. Fast forward, Antonio became a widow at nagkita sila. I guess Antonio went to Canada for some reason which was not explained in her letter. They saw each other, and since widower na si Antonio, so they rekindle their love for each other, at yun nga, they live together as a married couple, although they wala siyang sinabi whether they get married or not. Antonio happened to have two kids, or two children, at welcome naman si Carmen, so that was not even an issue. Sad part is they thought this is gonna be a happy ending, but sadly Antonio Antonio got sick of lung cancer stage 3, and that kind of broke everybody's heart, especially Carmen, kasi parang the life that she wanted all these years, while they were growing up, it's because of Antonio, the love of Antonio. But Nakawin Natin, ang Bawat Sandali, was the title simply because every minute of the day, it seems like they're stealing it. At least they're trying to make the best out of it. At yung advice nga niya, which is so nice, sabi niya, life is too short. Like, make the best out of it. Parang wag nang, I had a difficulty, patumpik-tumpik. I think siguro yung parang wag nang atubili, yeah, wag nang magintay for parang of the following day. Gawin mo na what you have to do, because there's a purpose, at with the things nga that happen, sinasabi niya na parang make the most of your life, because what is important is today. The tomorrow is never promised, kasi anything could happen. We've seen that, especially the past few years. We've seen so many people, friends, family, and acquaintances, na now you see them, now you don't. Parang ganon, because of all the things that we did not anticipate that it's gonna happen in our lifetime. All of us, we were caught by surprise by the pandemic, that it really put a hold on the whole world, not only on the business, on health, on activities. It put a stop on life, and it was really a struggle, and still a struggle for a lot of us. A lot of people are still trying to pick up the pieces of what this pandemic did to all of us globally. Okay, before anything else, before yun ang buod, that's the whole essence of, or the whole synopsis of the story. So Carmen, firstly, I know you're watching or you're hearing this. Ito na, ito na yung ating mga favorite commentator. Ayan na, si Asaret muna bago si Alexander. Si Asaret, sabi ni Asaret, just enjoy every single moment you have with each other. It's sad, but I guess that's what love is. Not always happy ending. Kaya I agree with you. Tama rin yung sinabi rin niya. Enjoy na lang. And I think this is a reminder na she was trying to share to all of us. The life is short. Parang take each day, each moment, and make the best out of it. Nga sabi nga, single what you have with each other. Kasi yun daw ang tinatawag na pag-ibig. Kasi nga, if you're always worried about what's gonna be happening tomorrow, I always been told tomorrow is never promised. You just have to believe things will get better. You just have to put it into heart that there is the supreme being, there's a God that would take care of you regardless what. Sabi nga, the past is past, learn from it, but don't make it your basis. Okay? So, yun ang laging sinasabi sa atin ng mga nakakatanda. And especially people that we know, it is very important that you live for today. I'm not saying na you spend all your money for today, but be more cognizant of what is happening now. Kasi like what happened with the pandemic, hindi natin alam. We were never like in my case, I never thought that it would ever happen in my lifetime, but it did. And I know you guys feel the same way, the way I felt about the pandemic, because we were all caught off guard. So it put a hold on the whole world, like what was being said. Okay, tapos, si Hazel, another inaanak of mine. Hazel is from Laguna. Okay, but she's now currently happily married to Larry and residing in Houston, Texas. Okay. Si Frederick Von Yu, the husband of Jem Yu. If you need any photo booth supplier, yan, contact si Frederick Von Yu. Very, very great ang kanyang service. Siya at saka yung anak niya. And very economical. Meaning, the quality is top notch. And I used already their service last August, and it was wonderful. So two thumbs up, way up for Frederick Von Yu's photo booth service. Okay, sabi naman ni Alexander, lagi nating tatandaan kung kayo talaga, kahit lumipas pa talaga ang panahon. Totoo naman yan. Sabi nga, kahit, di ba, I kind of agree with you. I agree with you, Alexander. Sabi nga, pagkahaba-haba ng prosesyon, sa simbahan pa rin ang tuloy. So, in a way, sabi nga, kapag iyo bubukol at bubukol, kapag ito ay tinala, if it was meant to be, they could put anything in front of you and only time can tell. It's a matter of timing, but eventually you'll end up together, which happened to Carmen and to Antonio. Okay, tapos sabi pa ni Alexander, dagdag pa ni Alexander, life is too short, make the most of it. You don't know when your last day is. Live the way you want to live. O parang yung sinabi rin sa atin, yung comment din ni Carmen, na yun nga yung lesson niya gustong ipahatid sa atin. A good example, and hopefully, like today, I went, I was kind of tied up earlier this morning to attend a funeral of a father of a good friend. And ang ganda nung eulogy nung anak, because the anak was saying every minute of the day they spend with the father, it was precious. Of course, just like any family, may mga drama that happened in between. There were roller coasters of emotions that took place in the family, but eventually family pa rin yan. Sabi nga, there's no sin among families, 'di ba? Maraming nangyayari sa buhay, but at the end of the day, family is forever and love is family. Tapos sabi ni Asaret, dagdag pa ni Asaret, everything happened for a reason. Just be happy and be strong. Always remember, God has a plan, just trust Him. Ay, tama ka. Ito yung lagi natin sinasabi na, and I shared that with you also. BTS, hindi po yung BTS, hindi po yung Korea pop group. BTS is believe that there's a supreme being. It could be whoever you adore, regardless of your affiliation. Believe that, and then believe that there is a supreme being higher than all of us. And then T is trust. You have to trust that very nature, that the supreme being will do something that is beneficial to you. And then S is surrender, meaning you need to lift it up regardless, good things, bad things, especially the bad things, lift it up and always believe that there will be a solution, that should not worry about what the outcome would be, because most of the time, if not all of the time, what would the supreme being would give you is something beneficial to you. Because I always believe things happen for a reason, like what Asaret was saying, because sometimes, like we always discussed in the past, that we felt that our prayers are not answered. The mere fact that it is not yet answered, it's already an answer in itself. Because sometimes yung mga wini-wish natin, it's not gonna be beneficial, or it's not good for you in the long run. And by you waiting, there's a lot of things happening within yourself, not only physically but definitely emotionally. Akala natin nakalimutan na tayo, and parang we question. That's okay to question, but you have to put in your heart. You have to put it to heart that BTS, believe, trust, and surrender. Believe that there is someone who cares about you, who died for you, to put you in redemption, and at the same time you trust this supreme being that there's a grand design, sabi nga. And a lot of us were told growing up, even now when we talk to our pastors or to our priests, that hindi pa tayo, we were not even born yet the grand design is already planned for all of us. Always remember that. Tapos you have to surrender. Kasi sometimes we feel that parang tayo na eh, di ba? And that sometimes all of us in sometime one way or another we're guilty of that. We felt that kaya na natin. Parang you know, I'm the man of the world, I'm the king of the world. What we don't understand is these things are there, especially the problems, you have to offer it back. You have to send it back. That's what I do every time I'm confronted with some problems, issues, or hiccups in life. Then I just pray for it and I throw it back to God and say, please solve this, because this is beyond what beyond my comprehension, beyond of my capability. Sabi nga, di ba, there's this wonderful song na sabi niya, cast your fears and I'll give you rest. Cast all your fears to me because I will give you rest. And that's exactly what you have to remember, that that things will get better. Now going back to Carmen, I'd like to yung case ni Carmen. Carmen, you are so lucky because sabi mo nga you waited all your life for the love of Antonio, and your wish, it although it took some time, it was granted, 'di ba? Even sabihin mo na whatever happened to Antonio, that borrowed time, that the time you spent together, yung sabi mo nga mga ninanakaw na sandali, those are precious, and this will fuel you to move on. This will be catalyst na parang ipupush ka that life is beautiful, that regardless of what we're going through, always remember life is beautiful. Kasi nga, if you try not to look at the other fence or other yard, sabi nga, look and be appreciative, be grateful of what you have, kasi doon tayo na-fail eh. And when we look at other people, when we look at siguro yung successes nila, we don't understand na baka itong tao na to, on the facade, on the surface, that person, our neighbor maybe, our friends, they're doing so well. But what we don't understand is the journey behind it. Baka on the outs on the facade, on the surface, they're doing so well, but deep inside, emotionally, mentally, it's killing them. But they're trying to give a face, a public face, so people uh, would not would not guess that there's some problems happening within their family. So minsan nangyayari yun eh. Okay, si Sunny Francisco is watching as well. Hi Sunny. Sunny is watching from Project 4 in Quezon City. Si Frederick Von News, niya, hi Josh, thank you. Well, we are welcome because I believe in your photo booth service, and everybody enjoyed the service. So that's one thing we try to do here, is to let everybody know about how good the services that we encounter. At rest assured, pag pangit yung service, of course, it is my duty to kind of buyers beware. But in your case, super ganda po nung tsaka ang daling katrabaho sila Von. Okay? Now, yung mga comments pa niya, may mga dagdag pa tayo dito. Let's see. Tingnan natin pa. Well, siguro it is high time. Things are getting normal, even in different parts of the world. May mga fake news na meron na naman daw surge ang COVID, another variation. But like what I told a friend of mine today, wag naniniwala sa mga fake news, because fake news, if you believe all of them, you need to go to the source, CDC, Center of Disease Control. Those are, at madali pong makita yan. It's global, and you would know exactly if there's pandemic going on, or if there's any variants happening again. But as far as I checked last night, wala po pang official announcement ang Department of Health globally, or World Health Organization. That's one. Two, always remember, you need to uh, be grateful. Lagi ko sinasabi, be grateful. Enjoy what you have. Don't think of other people's successes. Be happy. If your friends is doing so well, be happy, kasi kung nabibless yan, mabibless ka rin. The blessing can always be shared. And at the same time, if you're the person being blessed, it is your obligation to make sure that you bless others as well. Kasi it has been written, it has been said, to whom much is given, mas maraming binibigay, and that is in form of blessings or biyaya. Much is required. So marami ring requirement, meaning wag mo itago sa sarili mo, wag mong sopagin. Don't be selfish about sharing, but bless others as well, because you cannot outgive the giver. Meaning, kahit na nagbibigay ka, there's no way in heaven's hand na mauubos, malalampasan mo ang biyaya na binibigay sa'yo. And there's a reason why you're being blessed. You're being blessed because you are given that obligation to share. You are given that faculty. You're being given that opportunity to share what was given to you in return. At mas marami raw blessing na sinishare mo sa iba, mas dumadami rin na ibe-bless ka. And I always believe that. Okay? Tapos, now that is being said, ako to si Carmen. Carmen, maraming salamat talaga pag ang ganda nung sinabi mo, life is too short. Totoo yan. Make the best of it. Kasi sometimes, di ba, we always tend to, even I'm guilty of that. We always worry about what tomorrow would be. It's okay to kind of plan for tomorrow, but do not be anxious about it, because at the end of the day, tomorrow will take care of itself. I know that for a fact. Kasi pag naging anxious ka, naging too worried about what's gonna happen tomorrow, tomorrow is never promised. Tomorrow is never promised. Meaning, it doesn't guarantee that when you sleep tonight, you will wake up. That's never promised. What is promised is be the best version of yourself today. Be the best person you are today, not only for your immediate family, but for others. And that is very tough to do. Kasi nga, as we all know, there's factors in our midst that really sometimes it kind of push you to a certain edge. Minsan, di ba? And I've seen that time and time again. Some people, for some reason, will irritate you. There's instances or situation that will piss you off. But that really is the test in my book. Para ito yung pagsubok sa iyo, sa character mo, how you gonna react. Kasi the problem is always gonna be there. Lahat tayo may problema, whether you're rich, poor, poorest of the poor, or you could be middle class, but everything or everyone, we encounter problems. Okay? So, hindi lang siguro sinasabi ng mga friends mo, but at the end of the day, lahat tayo may problema. It's how you react to these problems. How you would handle given the problem you have in hand. Sabi ni Jem, you pray big, worry small. Tama naman. You pray big, you worry small. Or like what I've been telling people, make your faith bigger than your fear. Gawin mo, gusto ko to, pray big, worry small. Sabi nga rin, di ba? Worry less, pray harder. Parang ganon. Parang i-offer mo talaga. Whatever comes your way, whatever problems, big or small, the best way to defeat that, or to overcome that, is prayers. I always believe, ito yung I would share with you, everything can be solved. That's the most powerful weapon that was given to us, is prayer. Okay? Prayers do move mountains. Pag talaga nagdadasal ka, and the prayer, if you go by the book, the holy book, that's the Our Father, the Lord's Prayer. But sabi nga rin, and I believe this, prayer, ang prayer kasi can be in different forms. And we talk about that in past shows. Prayer is something that kahit kunyari naglo-laundry ka, if you offer it, that activity, that is a form of prayer. If you're driving, yung binubulong ng puso mo, the whispers of your soul, is already a prayer in itself. Sabi nga, hindi mo kailangan i-utter the words, but as long as you offer it to the God Almighty, or whoever you adore, whoever you venerate, whoever you believe into, that is a form of prayer, because ginagawa mo yung something very, siguro sa other people will be trivial, but if you're dedicating that particular act or task, then that is a form of prayer. Your singing can be a form of prayer. That's praise and worship. Okay? Sabi pa ni Frederick, always live for the present. Ayun, tama. Always live for the present. Kasi yun na naging issue natin minsan and I agree with you. Parang we worry too much about the past. Okay? The past is past. Kaya nga past hindi na pwedeng balikan. You could, and what I tell people when they said they had a bad past, or they did something terrible in their past, I always tell them, and this is Kuya Josh telling you, the past you could revisit but learn from it para you could avoid repeating the same mistake that you did in the past. But you don't want the past to dictate who you would be or who you are today. Sabi nga, don't let your past dictate or mold you to the person you are today. Your past should be a stepping stone to be the better version of yourself. For example, you did something crazy, you did something against the norm, and you already know and you already accepted, you ask forgiveness. Siguro naman you will not bring that same error to present. Meaning, learn from what? Anong nagkamali? Bakit nagkamali? How could you correct it? And that's the thing you could bring to your present. Kasi a lot of times, I have friends and acquaintances that would say, well, I did this in the past, then it will dictate me, it will dictate the person I am today. Not true, because your past should not be your future, should not be your present. That's me. That's my comment. That's my opinion. You could argue otherwise. And we already agreed to disagree, di ba? When we first started the show, I told you, hindi lahat ng pagkakataon magkakaroon tayo ng agreement. We all agree to disagree. And that is healthy. Even in conversation, you don't have to accept things, ideologies, or comments or advices from people, and discussion, and as long as it's healthy, walang nagkakaasaran, walang nagkakapikunan, walang nag-aaway, a healthy discussion of things, events, situation would make you the better person, would make you realize the best version of yourself. Yun ang maganda with that. Now, yung kay Carmen at saka kay Antonio, siguro this will be a reminder, sabi nga ni Alexander kanina, pag kayo talaga, talagang kung uukol, bubukol. And I believe that a lot of us, parang may mga lost love. Sabi nga, it's better to love and lost than never love at all. I know it's a cliche. People might say, naka-trite naman masyado yan. It's too cheesy. But it's true. Sabi nga, at least you experience love. And kung nawala, but look what happened to Carmen and to Antonio. Akala ni Carmen, tapos na, period na. But the universe has a way of aligning itself. So naka-experience pa rin niya yung one true love niya, who happens to be Antonio. Pero sabi nga, yung kiliti ng panahon, yung kumbaga kurot ng pagkakataon, while this was happening, yung pala magkakasakit si Antonio o nagkasakit si Antonio. Right now, we don't know what is in store for them. So, like everybody saying, live for the moment, live for today. Kasi nga, pag nag-isip ng isip si Antonio or si Carmen, then they will always have this fear. They will always have this what ifs in life. And sometimes leave it at that. Basta enjoy the moment kasi nga these are borrowed times. Do the best you could in this lifetime as of now, as of today. Live for today and make each day count, sabi nga ni Carmen. Kasi everything everything has its purpose, sabi rin ni Asaret. So, yun ang panghawakan mo. That's the thing that you really have to believe. And this is something na siguro all of us would need to understand that it's okay to worry, it's okay to be anxious, but at the end of the day, you live for today. Meaning, isipin mo now. Isipin mo how to improve your situation now, how to be the better person now. Sabi pa ni Johan, Carpe diem, nako, seize the day. Nako, I think Carpe diem was a passage that I used, I think Goodwill Hunting. I think that was the movie. Um, it was said, I'm not sure, I think it's an old movie with Robin Williams. Okay, I remember that. And basta maganda yan, yung seize the day, seize the moment, seize the very essence. Sabi yan ni Johan. Johan happens to be the owner of PHLV Radio. Kaya nga, ang ganda talaga yung Carpe Diem is something that is very now, di ba? So yun, nga Carmen, maraming salamat sa pagsubaybay mo at maraming salamat for 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 the wonderful word or words that you had said about the shows. And of course, Johan is hearing and watching us, and para siguro on behalf of the station, thank you for support. It's okay if you're team replay, and that's okay too. You're part of a good team. Because I know because of the time difference, if you're watching different parts of the world, syempre iba-iba yung time zone. But nakakataba po ng puso when we hear things and we read things na you really enjoy the show and you are, sabi mo, quote unquote, getting nuggets of wisdom. Kasi po, like what I said, the nuggets of wisdom, hindi lang po kayo ang nabibless din po ako. Especially when I hear or when I read comments from you, those are such blessings that those are priceless. At I'm so thankful, and I am overwhelmed with gratitude because when we started this show, subok lang. We didn't know that it's gonna be welcome. That's why I think the station and myself, we try to make sure that hindi kami mag-replay. At lo and behold, yung mga replay po, kasi when we first started, dumadami, kumbaga nag-start pa lang yung, so we try to replay. If you notice, when I'm not able to do the show, we go back to the past shows because during that time, hindi pa masyadong popular yung show. Ngayon lang po, parang nag-pick up na siya because I think because of people like si Jem, si Bon, tapos si Asaret, of course, si Sunny, si Alexander, and of course there's some people we're missing, sila Rosana from Qatar, Doha. I think she is back in Doha. Si Feli Alfian sa Seattle, Washington. The Entrodicho from Middle East, I think Qatar as well. At marami pa pong iba, and especially yung mga nanonood sa inyong mga bahay in different parts of the world. Nako, talagang please do subscribe to our PHLB radio YouTube channel, so at least nag-grow po yung ating station. Now, maraming salamat din doon sa mga susulat. Paganda ng paganda. Pahirap ang mga letters. As I've said, and just a reminder, thank you po sa nagbibigay ng mga hearts. Maraming salamat. At I am again so grateful. So, Carmen, hopefully, you realize that maraming salamat sa mga advices mo, mga nuggets of wisdom. We will try, even I would always be reminded to live Carpe diem, sabi nga ni Johan, and live life to the fullest, and 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 uh, and always remind myself and everyone else, life is too short. You don't know what's in store for us, but you just need to believe, you just need to trust, and you need to surrender. Yon ang ating maganda. So, maraming salamat pala. Yesterday, yung mga nanood po ng aming special show yesterday with the regional voice of Crystal Voice of Asia, none other than, oh, and also the music festival queen, none other than Miss Ivy Violan. So I know a lot of you had PM me or private message me that you really enjoyed the show. And yung iba medyo nagtampo kasi nung nagbigay raw sila ng message, I didn't react. And hopefully you kind of get the mode kahapon. The show po was partly live and partly taped. What it meant was the first portion of that show, we were live with as an update on what's going on with Ivy. Pero yung second part po was a replay of the show we did with Ivy Violan back in August of 2022. And that's why I didn't repeat some of the question because it was already covered in the first shows. So what we did this time is yung update po, especially like she's having a concert, a by invitation only concert this coming December 9 at the Manila Pub somewhere in Wilshire or Western rather in Los Angeles, and hopefully we'll hear more about it. And then she's coming with some brand new record or songs that hopefully it will be released soon, so you would be able to hear that from PHLV Radio first from us. Um, and then one surprise lang, I will be in Las Vegas this coming weekend. Not to gamble, but there's a surprise that we will share with you, and maybe depending on how we do it. But I already kind of gave PHLB Radio and Johan a heads up. I will finally be doing a show at the studio at PHLB Radio at the Maryland office or the Las Vegas office, and I'm excited because mukha talagang mawawala yung medyo background na you're so used to. It will be definitely a show, and you'll see that next Friday. So with that said, maraming salamat. Maraming salamat for always being here. Not only for this particular show for Dear Kuya Jush, but also for Alam Mo Ba with Josh Adowit. There'll be more guests and more surprises coming your way, and that is a promise from me to you. And like what I said, whatever is left of it, you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And those people who are in different parts of the world, happy viewing sa inyo. And I pray and that we have a wonderful weekend next week. And God bless us all. And like what I said, every time before closing the show, I always remind you to be kind. You can never go wrong with kindness. And any act of kindness that you do to people or to others, it is guaranteed it will come back to you in so many ways, in different forms, different times, with different people. And that is a promise. And mahirap labagin, labagin. It's difficult to contradict that, but it happened not only to me but a lot of people that I know. So be kind talaga, kasi that you can never go wrong with kindness. And with that, maraming salamat. Another show for the books. Maraming salamat po again. And looking forward for next week. I'm too excited to share with you some good news about what's happening basta. I will let you know next week para medyo surprise ng konti. With that, God bless us all. And until next week, Kuya Josh is signing off for now. And I will definitely see you next week on Dear Kuya Josh. And I will definitely see you on my Friday show, which is Alam Mo Ba with Josh and the Wit. So good night, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Goodbye, everybody. God bless us all.